Hello and welcome to the video on Power BI. In this video, let us take a further look into the Power Query Editor in continuation to our previous video. As a recap of my previous video, I would like to reiterate that the Power Query Editor is going to give the non-technical person the best chance to develop a data set on which they can report on. In addition to that, last week we saw transforming the dataset that is shown here to build a matrix of a specific condition as shown in the screen. So this matrix, which looks very simple, cannot be usually built with the dataset that has been shown there. So this dataset required a transformation which was uh, including an unpivot step at the end so that you can report on the dataset in the matrix with the desired format. So to continue, in this video, let us look at few more options that the Power Query Editor provides the user with. Now currently I have the location column selected. So now what I'm going to do is, as we did the unpivot option, we now choose to do the pivot option. So this makes it clear like even you have an unpivot step at the top, you can still go for a pivot which transforms your data set much more. So now clicking on the pivot option, I get a pop-up scene here which requires us to select the value column. Here I would like to select the year as the value. Now the moment I click on OK, you see that the year the data set gets transformed as shown here. So this is not really a good format of data. So I would like to get a different format. So here one thing which you can note is you have a query settings pane. So every change that you do in this data set gets recorded as a step. Now, the moment I click on source, it is going to show me the original source of data. So the data types changing is the change type. So this changes the data set. As you can see here, the percentage ratio has become a whole number. Then the unpivot step is going to change the structure of my data set, and then comes the pivoted column step, which was done now. As I said earlier, this is not a really good format of data. So I would like to transform the data set furthermore to give something meaningful. You can see the settings option here, clicking on which it is going to again open the same pop-up. Here, instead of here, I'm changing it into attribute. Now, the moment I click on OK, my dataset has got transformed to something different. So you can see here, the location column which I selected had two values A and B. Now, this has been moved to the column and the year is going to stay in the row, and the ratio and ratio percentage columns have now become the values. So the way you can understand is the location A has the value 1 for the year 2018 once. Similarly, the location B has the value 2 for 2018 once. So same applies for every record in this. So this is going to allow us to build a different data set or a different matrix or a visualization here, which would require us to apply the changes. Currently, I'm really not interested to do that, so that I will continue with whatever is there here. So the next option which you can see here is I would like to change the data type of this particular column into a text. Now, clicking on this 1.2 is going to mean that it is a decimal number. So I would like to change it into a whole number, which on clicking this changes it. Similarly, the CA column, I would like to change it into a character. So I can click on text and it is going to change it. So this way you can easily change the format or the data type of a column. So you have, as I told earlier, we have different other options like creating columns. So I'd like to show you the create column from examples option here. So clicking on this is going to generate one more column, which is going to be created based on the examples that we provide. For example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to concatenate this year with A. So the first option, what I do is I type 2018 and 1. Next is, so the moment I've clicked this, you can still see, right? So this is trying to concatenate year and value, but this is not what we desire for. We are trying to concatenate year and A column. So what I'm going to do is like I'm going to click on 2018 and 0. So now this has automatically generated a new column here, which is the concatenation of year and day as the highlight shows. Now clicking on OK, this is going to generate one more column, which is the merged column. This not just requires us to do a column from create column from examples. This merge column also is available using a different option called merge column, which you can obviously generate in case you want to. And of course, this requires you to select multiple columns so that you can perform the merge option on. As you can see, once I select the year and value column, this option has got enabled. So now clicking on this is going to generate one more column where it is going to ask us for a separator. Now let me select semicolon as my separator. Clicking on OK, a new column is generated now, which is merged one. This is a concatenation of two columns separated by a semicolon. There are few other options which we can look at if we want to proceed further on this. For example, I just do not want this merged one column to be like this. So I just want to split this column based on the semicolon. So there is an option called split column here, which gives you different options to split. If I want to split by delimiter, I can just click on delimiter. This is going to enable a pop-up and it has automatically identified that there is a semicolon in the column. So clicking on OK is going to split the column based on the semicolon. Now let me go back to the previous step, and since I want to show you something else in the split column, I'm just deleting the two options of where we have split the data. This again, deleting the step in the query settings is going to remove the changes that we have done. Now I'll go to again split columns, and now I want to change by the number of characters. So I'm specifying that split by the fifth character. So as you can see, we can set repeatedly once as far left as possible, once as far right as possible. So now the repeated is repeatedly selected by default, which means that for every five characters, there's going to be a split. Clicking on OK, this is going to split the column by five characters. As you can see here, after 2018 and a semicolon, there is a split one, and then five characters after one, it is going to again generate a split. So this is clearly visible in this case where we have three columns with data in all three columns. Now I just want to retain this column. In such case, there is an option called convert to list, which on clicking, it is going to just retain that column to me for any use of my purpose. But currently since I don't want this, I'm just going to remove this. There is other option where you can directly perform a sort based on the values. For example, I just want to sort the value based on the merge column. So there is a descending sort and ascending sort. Doing a descending sort, it is going to sort the data by descending value, and doing ascending sort, it is going to sort the data by ascending value. I would like to also show you the group by option here. So group by option gives us various options to generate the group column. For example, this is by default selected to count rows. There are other options like sum of values, average of values, median, minimum, maximum, count rows, count distinct rows, and all rows. There is a there are two options like basic and advanced. So advanced is going to provide us option to merge by different columns. For example, I want to group the entire data set using the column merged and then by year and then by location. Okay. Since we have already transformed it using a unpivot or pivot, so the location is gone now. So we can just have the merged and year here. So the other one I'm deleting. Now clicking on this, it is going to generate a completely new data set, which is going to be grouped by the columns merged and year. There is also one more thing which I want to show you at this point of time. Although we have different options that are getting added as a step in the query settings, we also have an advanced editor here, which is going to record all the steps that we have done so far in terms of mQuery language. Of course, this is not currently needed at this point of time, as this does not come under the scope of this video. So in this video, we have seen different other ways of changing or transforming our data set for better reporting purposes. Let's get back further on this in our future videos. So that's all in this part of the video. If you like this video, please like, comment and subscribe for more videos.